Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's 2026. I'm not even going to apologize because I have been busy. I've been productive. But welcome back. Happy New Year. How are y'all doing? I'm doing good. So this is kind of like a life update slash jump starting why I have not been here in so long, why I changed my YouTube name. Since this is a life update, I kind of have all of my 2025 goals written down here. Why am I back on YouTube? So this camera was gifted to me. It was a birthday gift because I made a promise that I was gonna be consistent on YouTube. I am not one to break promises. However, life just happened. And so much has happened since the last video. I can't even remember the last time I uploaded. I can't give you a month. You will just have to go back and look at my page. But I am here, I am alive, and I am well. A lot has been happening, but I don't even know where to start this video. I just don't want my camera to be sitting down and rotting. But another reason I also left is because YouTube kind of got boring for me, and I realized I get bored very easily. I used to depend on YouTube for entertainment, and after a while, everything just felt repetitive, like everybody was doing the same thing. So I kind of stopped recording. I got a bit demotivated, and the next thing I feel like, because I don't depend on YouTube for money, I do not record for financial means. I was focusing more on stuff that was bringing me money. But yeah, those are kind of some of the reasons. And the next thing is I got super busy with work and focusing on my 9 to 5. I really wanted to improve, and I'm gonna go into my goals with you guys. I'm not gonna share everything. I'm gonna share a few things, only a few, just so that I can let you know guys know what I have been up to for the past year, because I have not been on here. I have been recording, don't get me wrong. I just have not been editing and posting. Even last night when I said to my husband, I'm gonna do a sit down video tomorrow and I'm gonna post it, he laughed. And that was kind of like a wake-up call, because if I'm a joke now, then it's getting serious. But anyways, the first thing first, I did get braces. They are green, you know, green is my color. So I got braces on Monday. This is something that I feel like I've written down every single year for all of my adult life, and now I'm 27. So I have been writing it down every single year, but I never get to, because it always feels like such a financial strain, or like it would be a financial burden to get it. But I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna make the sacrifice. I saw this ad that they were having a percentage off sale thing, and I did my research. I saw that they were legit. Visited the place, not with the final intention or decision that I was gonna do it, but just to see like the surrounding and kind of get a feel of the place. And I was satisfied with the place and my consultation, and so I got them done the same day. I have an open bite, so if I close, you can see like a space. I also have spaces between my, what you call these, canines. So yeah, I'm trying to close those so that I can have a smile. So if I am talking throughout this video with a little lisp, then that is why. And I could take out the elastic to make talking a little bit better, but I feel like every time I take out the elastic bands and then put them back in, the pain starts over and then it settles. Right now my mouth has gotten used to it, so it's not so bad. But every time I take out the elastic to eat or to brush my teeth and I put them back in, it feels like I'm getting murdered, like I'm getting shot in the mouth. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing this video with a lisp and with my mouth feeling like it can barely open. But anyways, let's get into my goals. Let's get into my business. I know I started off 2025 with a similar video and I never stuck to any of the goals, which is why a lot of them here are not really, I have not really achieved a lot of them, but there are some that I have achieved. Let me try to position myself in a more comfortable. I'm kind of using the ottoman as a back brace. Kind of, sort of. Hold on. Alright, I think this is much better. Alright, so we're comfortable and we're ready to get into business. Now that you guys know why I have not been here, and I don't know if I'm here to stay, but we'll see. All right, let's get into my goals. So I kind of have them into different categories. This is a photo of my book that I'm currently using as a tripod. And I'm gonna go through them one by one, category by category. I don't know if this video is gonna be boring. I hope not. But yeah, let's start. So under health, I have braces, and I feel like I'm so happy that I finally got it done. And then next thing I have, I'm not gonna be sharing every single thing because some of these are very close and personal, so I'm gonna skip a few things. I have keep up with my dentist visits. I did not. I did not. I made the appointment and I kept canceling because stuff kept coming up. So my insurance just got back that money because I did not use. I can't talk. I did not use the braces money from my insurance, so sucks. But this year I don't have a choice since I have these in. I will have to be doing my cleaning and my maintenance and all of that. Join the gym. Your girl joined the gym and I was getting somewhere. I think I joined in August, September, thereabouts, and I was consistent for a good while. I was consistent all the way up to December. I stopped in December because the money was a bit low, okay? The money was not moneying. The next thing I have on here is to drink more water, which I did. Started drinking more water when I started the gym. Alright, the next category was business and career. I have grown my YouTube channel as the first one. Did that happen? Absolutely not. It kind of started to happen when I started recording in January of 2025 and I made that goals video, and then I just stopped recording and I lost like one of the followers that I gained, and the remaining are still there. Right now I'm at 230. To me, for a lot of people that will kind of be like demotivating, but I always imagine like 230 people in a room listening to me yap, and that's a lot of people. Okay, it might not be 1,000, 2,000, 17,000, but yeah. Restart my social media business. I had a social media business where I was doing like branding, content and stuff, and the closest thing I got to that was teaching somebody how to use social media. And I did that for a month, so that was a little extra cash coming in. And then I stopped. I did it for like 2 months, and then that was it. I went through my lesson plan and did everything that I needed to do. I think that person wanted to start a business, so they wanted to learn about social media and marketing tactics and all of that, and yeah, your girl did that. So I didn't restart my social media business, but I did do social media work, not necessarily posting, but more so teaching. I have Show More Initiative at work and Be Brave. So I started my new job about 2 years ago. So this year is gonna be my third year in, and I was not really good at it. I was not good at it, meaning it was something new and I needed to improve. There was a lot that I needed to work on. And so it took me a while to grasp a lot of stuff that I needed to grasp, if you get what I mean. Start writing again. I haven't had time to write, okay? I want to, but I just haven't had the time. And maybe it's because I don't know. I don't have a good enough excuse to say why I haven't been writing again. There are a lot of times when things happen and I'm like, oh, I could write about this and it would be a good point of view to share, but I just never get to it. Let's get into one of my main ones, which is finances. I did very poorly with finances in 2025. I feel like I could have done so much better with saving and looking into. I did started researching investing and how to make your money grow for you, and I have spoken to people who are much older than myself who have been investing, and I've asked my questions, and I think I have kind of set a foundation as to how I want to get into that. But it's just about getting started. That's I think the hard part. It's getting started. I feel like in schools they should be teaching more about finances and investing, like make it mandatory, just like how math and English are mandatory. They can incorporate it into math or any other subject, just so that people kind of have the knowledge, so when they grow older they don't have to be digging up Google and digging up ChatGPT and going to people asking all sorts of questions because they have no idea where to start. Because I think that's where I have been struggling, I feel like. And saving is one thing to save, but at the same time your money, you're not gonna get, if you put in $10,000 10 years from now, that $10,000 is not gonna worth the same. It's not gonna be the same amount in there because you have to pay the banking fees and over time, inflation, depreciation, all sorts of stuff affect the amount of money that you can get out of that. And then you also have retirement funds, which I think a lot of people in Jamaica still struggle even when they have retirement funds. It doesn't really go far and they can't live the life that they would want to live when they are old and just want to relax. They probably want to travel and can't even travel on that retirement money. The next thing I have is to manage monthly budget. I feel like I really need to get this. I need to get it right. I was saving really well until I got these in the last few months of the year, when I did a reality check and I was like, oh, I can't live like this. But yes, I really want to do better with saving this year, because if you can save, the more you save, then the more you can invest into your future. And if you want future kids, into their future as well. Because it's one thing about me, guys, I want kids, but I don't want my kids to go through what I have gone through growing up. I want them to have a much easier life, and I realized that it depends on you as a parent to set that foundation and to do what you need to do to ensure that they can live the life that they live. Let's move to the next category, which is fun and recreation. I have experienced more solo dates. I only did one of this year, and it wasn't so bad. I'm very proud I at least got to do one. And I think I only got to do one because, again, I do not manage or budget properly. And so whenever it comes to month times, and I also have a bad habit of not treating myself. Now in Jamaica, this is when, after you pay, you splurge a little bit on something for yourself. I feel like I do not do that any at all, and I realized it when I met with this insurance agent, and she was asking me like my budget, how I budget each month. And when I was telling her, it was just bills and saving, although I always eventually spend the savings. And that was it. And money to go to work. That was it. There was nothing. She asked me, okay, do you spend to do like your nails and your hair? And I was like, no, only on special occasions, like when I have a birthday or somewhere special to go. Like, I do not just do it for doing its sake. And I think it's because I'm probably not a girly girl. But is that an excuse though for not wanting to do it? Or am I just cheap? I know I'm kind of cheap. Like, I have been told that I'm very stingy. I can be stingy, which is bad. But I think it's probably from how I grew up and not having a lot, and then finally being able to afford certain things. I'm like, okay, I need to preserve, if you get what I mean. I'm definitely gonna do better with taking myself out and treating myself, and going to probably a store and saying, oh, I like these shoes, let me get this. Or, oh, I feel like I want to experience this or that or this event. I don't know, but I'm gonna do it this year. Okay, hold me to it. Next thing I have is travel to one of my dream city, which is New York. I did not get to do that because, once again, the finances. Yeah, we gotta fix that. We need to fix that, because and a lot happened this year that prevented that. I had a loss in my family, and there was just so much that was happening this year that was unexpected, and that is why I'm saying that at the end of the day, yes, we can make goals, but we don't know what's going to happen, or what's down the road waiting for us. We don't. So yeah. I have goals planning. I've always wanted to do this, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna do it this year. I don't know. Almost did it, and I never got to it. Maybe God was saving me from something, but I want to try it. I'm a bit adventurous, I realize. Like, I'm very daring. I don't know if that is good or bad, but I like stuff like this. I like go-karting. I like the rides that you go up and down. I like all of that stuff. I like the adrenaline that it comes with. I don't know if that's good or bad. I did experience go-karting, which is something here on my list. I remember I did a work trip at my previous workplace, and I could not do go-karting because I didn't have a license, and I was so heartbroken. I didn't let anybody know though that I was heartbroken, but I didn't go, and I got to do it this year. I didn't drive, but I was on the go-kart. I was experiencing I'm gonna put photos. It was kind of like a work trip, and it was extremely fun. Reflecting now on a lot of these events that took place, and I did rock climbing, you guys. That's when I got to kind of see how strong the gym made me, because I went up, I glided up, and I was climbing with another of my co-workers, and the other co-workers were cheering her on because she was kind of struggling, which was so sweet. And I feel like that was the highlight of that trip for me, them just cheering her on. Me, I'm very competitive. I was climbing. I felt so bad after I came down and I realized that she was struggling and everybody was cheering her on, and my focus was just to go up and ring the bell. I felt really bad, but it was fun. Next thing I have is to experience a spa treatment. I have never been to a spa, and I really want to do it. And yeah, I'm hoping that this year I get to do it. The reason I have been iffing and butting about it is because it's expensive, man. Like, the type of spa treatment I want to experience is not just the massaging, and I want to experience the hot stones on the back, probably acupuncture. Can't even talk because of this stupid thing in my mouth, but probably the acupuncture, and feet rubbing, and I want a full spa treatment. Okay. All right, next thing I have, I'm not gonna share relationships because I feel like that's too intimate right now, but I am gonna go into my personal development, which I think I did very poorly on. And I mean, I can look at this in two ways. Either is it that personal development, these are the only things that I've written down that can develop me, that I can develop. What am I saying? Are these the only thing that can lead to personal development, or is it that these are the specific things that I wanted to do to develop myself? I don't know if that makes sense, but let's just get into it. So I have read at least one book for the month. I bought 2 books, people. I bought 2 books, and I was like, okay, so I don't like the self-help books because I feel like they're just telling me what I already know I need to do. And I always get bored midway because I feel like I can just go online and watch a speech if I want some help or some motivation, or I can just pray about it and just move on with my life instead of just turning pages and reading the self-help books. So I was like, okay, I used to enjoy romance when I was much younger. Not that I'm old, but much younger. So let me just try that. When I used to love reading, those were the type of books that I gravitated towards. And so I bought 2 novels I'm gonna share here because I don't have them right here with me. So I'm gonna take a photo and put them on screen. So I bought 2 novels. I started the first one. It was the shortest one. So I was like, okay, let me start the short one since it's gonna be done quicker. I started it. I got to about 4 or 5 3 or 4 or 5 chapters, and I got bored midway. I was like, okay, the story's taking too long to build up, so I'm gonna stop. And I don't know if it's because I started with that book that I did not really like because it was too slow, but I couldn't get through the first one, although I really liked it. I liked the first few pages, and I was getting into it, and then I was like, I can't bother, so I stopped reading. So yeah, I bought 2 books out of 12, and I'm glad that I at least tried. Okay, and I'm gonna try again. Hopefully I can just probably download the books this time on here so that they are cheaper, and that way I don't waste money. I have enjoyed alone times because I grew up in a very big family. It was like a big yard in a way, like my grandmother, my aunts, I didn't grow up with my parents, of course, but I grew up around an extended family. And so I feel like sometimes for me it can be very hard to be alone. Although I think I have gotten better with it over the years since I've been married, and I do not have a choice but to be alone sometimes. But I think I struggled with that. But this year I can say that I do not see any struggle as it pertains to that in 2025. But in previous years, I think I struggled. Yeah, so I can kind of check that off my list. And then the last but not least, and probably the most important, is to be spiritual. I really wanted to improve in this area really bad, and I don't know, for some reason it's always a struggle to read the Bible and to do Bible studies and to pray. For me, it's always been a struggle. Like, I will start and I'm consistent for like 5 days, and then I fall off, and then I start again and I'm consistent. But someone said something to me recently that I think is very true. They said that people make it out to be that you have to, if you don't read the Bible every single day, at a particular time, every single day, and I highlight particular time because it's something that a lot of people do. Like, they say that, oh, I have to read at 6 o'clock, or I don't think that works for everybody, especially if you're not very disciplined. I think you can do it when you're driving in your car. You can turn on the audio for the Bible, and instead of music, you listen to that. I feel like if you wake up in the morning, fine, you can read a scripture. You don't have to read a whole chapter. You can read. Like, for me, I have a Bible app on my phone that prompts me like Bible scriptures or verses in the morning. I use that to start my day and to pray. But I don't have a whole Bible plan set out to say, oh, I have to read this every single morning, because I know myself. I'm not gonna stick to it. I could, but it's gonna take time. So I have to start somewhere. And I think that's what's important is, yes, try to get it done, but if you don't do one thing every single, because sometimes the devil knows what you're up to, and you kind of have to surprise him. So he might not expect you to take up the Bible at 11 o'clock and boom, you take up the Bible. So he can't stop you because he did not know that, okay, this is a routine. And not to say that something is wrong with having a routine, because I would love to have a routine and be able to stick with it. But I know I do not have enough discipline yet to do that. So as for right now, that's what I'm doing. Like, I am taking every opportunity that I can to read. I'm not just gonna have a set time. And I hope that works for me, because throughout 2025, the whole routine thing, it did not work. And I know a lot of people have these YouTube channels where they share their routine, like Bible study routine and all of that. It doesn't work for everybody at the same time. It takes building of discipline, it takes prayer, and it takes effort, like intense effort. But yeah. So yeah, that's all. Those are all the goals I can share with you guys. I must say, 2025 for me, it was kind of like a setting year for me. And when I say that, I mean that it's like, I believe in God, guys, and I believe that He prepares us for certain chapters in our life, and I feel like He was preparing me. I don't know what for, but I feel like God was really preparing me. Like, it felt like that year of preparation, if you get what I mean. I don't know how to explain it, but that's what it felt like. Overall, I can say it was a bittersweet year. I had moments where I was down, and I had moments where I was up. I had moments where I was sad. I had moments when I was overjoyed. Like, it was very bittersweet. I shared losses and I shared gains. And at the end of the day, what really matters is being able to pick up where you left off in 2025 and carry on in 2026, and hoping and praying for better for yourself, your family, and everybody else around you. Now, I cannot be like everybody else and say, okay, 2026 will be this year for me, 2026 will be that year for me, I'm gonna do this, I do not know. And in order to not disappoint myself, I've decided that I will not be doing all of that. Like, I'm gonna work hard, yes, but yeah. But I think the highlight for me is the fact that I think I've made a lot of good decision as a 27-year-old woman with growing in every aspect of her life. In this moment that my speech is not really, I don't see any growth. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you watching, what is that? If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and do so, because you know what, I'm not even gonna make any promise. Just subscribe if you want to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Hopefully I'll be posting on a Sunday. Yeah, I'm gonna stick to Sundays for uploads, because I realize on Fridays I'm just exhausted and I can't be bothered. So thank you for watching, and bye.